Directors Adil Arbi and Fallah do a fantastic job of capturing that whole Michael Bay energy whilst also making it feel very modern with its... Damn it! The one time I pronounce the names correct and then I have gas! Hey up everyone! So today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is the fourth film in the Bad Boys franchise, which is called Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is once again directed by Adil Arbi and Fallah, who directed the previous Bad Boys film, Bad Boys for Life. I like Bad Boys for Life. Just gonna break the ice of this review by saying that, believe it or not, this is actually my first ever watch of any Bad Boys film ever. Yep. This franchise is a massive blind spot for me, and I'm not sure why, because I love action movies, I love the stars, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. For whatever reason, I've never really given them a shot. I've just noticed it's actually kind of a common occurrence to me to jump into massive action franchises quite late into them. I didn't watch any of the Fast and Furious movies until Fast and Furious 9, and then I never wanted to watch any of them again. And then with the Godzilla, Monsters Universe movies, I didn't watch any of those until Godzilla X Kong, A New Empire came out. So yeah, now with the Bad Boys franchise, I'm jumping in with the fourth film, which probably seems very silly to a lot of you watching. But I will say, after watching Ride or Die, it did inspire me to want to check out the other Bad Boys movies, which is something. You would think an action franchise where the stars are now in their 50s would start to feel a little bit tired. But as an entry point into a franchise that has been around since the 90s, I had a blast watching this film. It's not perfect by any means, but it is a fun summer popcorn movie that doesn't take itself too seriously and was great to watch with a crowd. The crowd I watched this with last night, they were eating this movie up, okay? They were living, they were whooping. There was multiple moments throughout the film, like mid-film, where the audience erupted with applause and cheers. There probably were a few in-jokes which went over my head, but the crowd got it all, okay? They lapped it up. And I also appreciated that even as a brand newcomer to the franchise, I didn't really struggle to get into the plot, okay? I understood the story very quickly. I understood the dynamics of the characters. I understood the backstory. It explains things really easily. It's just very straightforward and easy to follow. It was idiot-proof, and I appreciated that. I'm sure it goes without saying, but Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are just dynamite together as cops Marcus and Mike. What this movie lacks in substance, it more than makes up for in old school movie star charisma. It's one of those films where you can just sit back and relax because you know you're in good hands with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, spearheading the movie. Even in their 50s, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith have still got it. They ooze charm, they bring the laughter, and they bounce off each other so well. They just have a joyful on-screen dynamic to watch. They've got that whole brotherly banter / work-wife chemistry, which is probably why audiences love watching these Bad Boys movies. Not just for the action sequences, but because they have such fiery, comedic chemistry together. Directors Adil Arbi and Fallah do a great job of capturing that whole Michael Bay action energy, with a lot of epic swirling camera work and slow-mo. But they also managed to bring the film into the modern era with how they shoot the action. There's some really impressive one-take drone shots in this, as well as a lot of goofy breakneck camera work, as well as some outrageous POV shots. You've got a camera from the point of view of a gun, as well as someone's watch. I will say there were certain times where the camera was from the point of view of the gun, where it felt very video gamey. And at times the action sequences in this do push the boundaries of plausibility, particularly in this helicopter crash scene and the film's finale at this alligator theme park. But again, this film isn't taking itself seriously. It's all in fun. As I mentioned previously, I do have some negatives with the film. I know this is a Bad Boys movie and the primary focus is on Lawrence and Smith, but not many other supporting players felt particularly fleshed out in this. There's a fair amount of cameos in this film. Some of them I understand why, and others I'm just why? There's plenty of moments in this film where the characters' actions are just plain stupid. There's one scene where a cop shoots down a plane even though they know the pilot in the plane is, an innocent bystander. And in the finale with the alligator theme park thing, one of the characters makes the choice to swim up to the alligator theme park, despite the fact there's alligators in the water, and I'm just dumb. Also, there's this subplot where Marcus believes he's invincible and just isn't gonna die, and this whole subplot felt so immature. But God bless Martin Lawrence, because he really does sell it. Also, there's another subplot involving Mike having PTSD and panic attacks, And the resolution of this subplot, you're either gonna love it or hate it. It's one of the few elements of the film which actually feels like semi-serious, and you think it's building to something, and boy does it. But it's played for laughs, and in the most meta way possible, as an almost redemptive tool for Will Smith after the whole Chris Rock Oscars fiasco. It's very much snap out of it. Like PTSD is something to be taken lightly, but it's just that whole toxic masculinity way of dealing with men's mental health. Like, walk it off, shake it off. You know, real men don't show weakness. Avengers Endgame did the exact same thing with Thor's PTSD narrative. So yeah, while the audience did find this moment hilarious, it's still kind of promoting an unhealthy message about how men should be dealing with their mental health struggles. In that sense, the franchise very much feels like it's still trapped in the 90s. The thing with this Bad Boys movie is that when I was writing my notes up for it after I saw it, the word that I kept circling back around to was gratuitous. And it is a gratuitous movie, okay? It's over the top, it's silly, it's ridiculous. Some of the action scenes are absolute nuts. Like I said, pushing the boundaries of believability. But the movie is so self-aware, and it's actually championing its own gratuitousness. Like, it just actively embraces the absurdity. Like, in moments where there's a shootout and Martin Lawrence is like swallowing jelly beans in slow motion and slurping like cherry cola drink. It's so ridiculous and over the top, but it doesn't care. It's having fun doing it. And you know what? The audience is having fun watching it, so I can't criticize it too much because that was always the filmmaker's intention. Shall we talk about its Oscars chances? Nope. This is not an Oscars movie. Has a Bad Boys movie ever been nominated for an Oscar? Yeah. Don't know why I even brought it up. Right then, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Not only would I happily watch this movie again, it has inspired me to want to check out the other Bad Boys movies. So yeah, this movie did its job. I'll watch it again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yeah. I can't say how this movie holds up to the other Bad Boys movies, but as a standalone film and as a brand newcomer to the franchise, I had a good time watching it. Yeah, I would recommend it to others. It's a great lads movie, or a good one to go watch with your dad. And if you're a fan of, like, you know, old school buddy cop action movies like the Lethal Weapon franchise or the Rush Hour franchise, or even like any Michael Bay action movies from like the 90s, then I'm sure you're gonna get a blast out of this movie. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? Like I said, this movie is not without its faults, but it is just an unapologetically fun summer movie, okay? I was entertained, okay? The 2 stars were very charismatic, very fun to watch. The action was wild and exhilarating. The music was bouncy and infectious. It moves at a brisk pace, and I was engaged for all of it. So I'm gonna give Bad Boys Ride or Die a score of 6.5 out of 10. You know what? Round it up to 7. I had a good time with it. 7 out of 10. But as always, it's just one bloke's opinion, guys. Love to hear your thoughts on Bad Boys Ride or Die. Have you seen it? Are you gonna see it? What do you make of this movie? What Bad Boys movie is your favorite as well? Like, what you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, help me out with the little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?